guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. If you like my videos, please press the like button and please do subscribe. Now let me try to get my point across without swearing. It's hard to when you haven't had much sleep and somebody keeps on and on and on from morning till night, keep going on about my mother Jennifer's life. So, 1 o'clock in the morning, which would have been the early hours of Sunday morning, I couldn't sleep. I'd gone out last night, inhaled cannabis, drugs, and I couldn't sleep. I was up and down like a yo-yo. So I felt ill, I couldn't breathe. It also affected Max, he started coughing. The dog was coughing. Max was, my little chihuahua, waft of weed last night. It's not funny. It affects the lungs and throat and it can cause damage. Inhaling cigarette smoke. As we all know, Roy Castle. Alexa, who was Roy Castle?
Roy Castle OBE was an English dancer, singer, comedian, actor, television presenter and musician. In addition to being an accomplished jazz trumpet player, he could play many other instruments. Following a versatile career as a performer on stage, television and film, he became best known to British television viewers as the long-running presenter of the children's series Record Breakers.
So, Roy Castle spent many times in pubs and clubs with heavy smokers, people that smoked, cigarettes. Nicotine is a drug. Carbon monoxide is a poison. Smoke and cigarettes have got a small amount of carbon monoxide, which is poisonous to the human body. Roy Castle spent years inhaling second-hand smoke and he died of cancer. Alexa, when did Roy Castle die?
Roy Castle died on the 2nd of September 1994 at the age of 62 years.
62 years old is young for a person. And Alexa, what did Roy Castle die of?
Roy Castle died on the 2nd of September 1994 at the age of 62 due to lung cancer.
Lung cancer caused by second-hand smoking. Inhaling other people's smoke. Now some sick individuals think that if they make me high by blowing cannabis in my face, because I'm getting sent porn pictures and I know what their game is. I know exactly what their game is. Their sex toys gone. So if I inhale drugs, they spike the drink, whatever, I'm more likely to be susceptible to dirty blokes coming up to me and trying to take advantage of me. Also, it's easy to get robbed and stolen from. I walk my dog out in the pitch black, and if I'm under I've inhaled drugs, I'm feeling a bit wobbly on my feet, and someone can steal my purse, my wallet, my bank card, whatever. I know their tricks. I lived at Lansdowne Court for 10 years in a waft of cannabis smoke with the neighbours downstairs, having numerous migraines and allergy problems. I know their tricks. Bit short of cash, steal off the vulnerable. Right, second-hand smoke can kill. Right? When I was a child, I went to pubs with my mum and dad and I inhaled smoke. Fortunately, they don't allow smoking in hospitals and pubs like they used to do. Right? Because they did when I was a kid. You used to go into a pub and you didn't see people for a waft of cigarette smoke. They all smoked all over the place, didn't they? Right, so I goes to the toilet last night because I haven't been able to sleep. Cannabis does fuck all for me, apart from give me a fucking migraine and make me feel unsteady on my feet and ill. gets up, goes to the toilet, and I'm splashing my eyes because they're all stinging. And then I've got this message. 1 o'clock in the morning, see? Drugs, porn. 1 o'clock in the morning. Would you like to meet me? I said, meet you? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I live in Bower Street. Bower, Bower Street, Maidstone. But they don't ask me if I want to meet them at their place. They want to come to mine at 1 o'clock in the morning. Bower Street, Maidstone. And of course, my mother Jennifer's mental health worker came from Maidstone. It's done to annoy me in the early hours of the morning because they think they're upsetting Jennifer and she's going to start shouting and getting all upset because they've mentioned Maidstone. And I'm awake already. I have had about 60. I turn the phone off normally, but last night I didn't turn it off, did I? I wake up to 60 messages. Slimen, not Simon, Slimen, 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 Yusuf, which was one of my mother's mental health workers, a lady called Selma Yusuf, Ben Slimen, Ben. They're not upsetting my mum, they're upsetting me. And all the while you've got this kid running up and down the ceiling. And my mum is nearly 77, it probably would give her a fucking heart attack. Wouldn't it? Upsetting an old lady. Waking her up all the hours of the morning and being a nuisance. What is wrong with you? My mum lives in Chatham, you're upsetting me. I'm 20 years younger than Jennifer, you fucking idiot. Something wrong with their brain. Another thing I want to talk about, in 2008, my auntie Doris had passed away and she left my dad an inheritance of about £38,000. Right? My dad said to me that he wanted to spend some of that money on me because he hadn't seen me for over 20 years. That's what Derek said to me, his daughter. He said, your mum's had a lot. He said, your mother told me you was living in luxury up in Gloucester, that you was living in sheltered accommodation with someone looking after you. I said, no, Dad. I've been suffering from savage domestic violence. I've been starving hungry, and I've been living in an accommodation where they're taking heroin and crack cocaine. My baby was on the second floor, and they're fucking drug users. They were all drug users at Fairfield Court, Gloucestershire. You know, Tricky that passed away, they were growing cannabis plants in their flat, and they had kids. And they were taking hard drugs, heroin. And I was living in a block of flats occupied by drug users with a baby. And it's very ironic that I fucking get my fucking kid taken away from me under false pretences when there's parents in that block of flats that were taking heroin with a child in the flat. They were taking drugs with children in the flat. Yet I get picked on because I have the guts to speak out and try and stop it. Don't I? That's why I got punished. Anyway, Doris passed away, left my father Derek about £38,000, and he went to All Hallows and he bought me a £2,000 caravan which got repossessed. He bought him and my mother a £17,000 caravan which got repossessed by All Hallows, and they took my belongings, and I think they burnt them on the